Today on Monson Made This, we're making one sauce with unlimited possibilities.
Brian Little.
Japan.
So today I'm going to be showing you how to make one cream sauce that is cashew based, and I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can use that sauce in pasta dishes. So the first one I'm going to show you is a really spicy roasted red pepper sauce that's covered with a special spicy topping. And then I'm going to show you how to make a pot pie pasta that uses all the ingredients of a pot pie, but it's a pasta. And then the last one I'm going to do is just more of a traditional kind of Italian sausage and sun-dried tomato cream sauce. So all of these recipes are super easy. Once you have this base sauce made, you just kind of throw some things in there, toss it with the pasta, and you're done. So let's get underway here. I'm gonna show you how to make this base sauce, and then we'll turn it into all these pasta dishes that I've just told you about. All right, we have the ingredients for the cream sauce here, starting out with a cup of cashews that have been soaked for just about 10 minutes in boiling water, and then I rinsed and drained them. To that, I'm adding about 1.5 cups of filtered water, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, about 1 garlic clove, tablespoon of Bragg's liquid aminos, the juice of half of a lemon, and the magic ingredient, 2 tablespoons of better than bouillon, no chicken flavor. Now this recipe is very similar to the base recipe for my enchilada Suiza bake, and that's sort of what the inspiration was for this, was to take this base sauce recipe and turn it into a bunch of other dishes. So just gonna put the lid on here, and then we blend. So this has been blending in a high-speed blender, NutriBullet, for just about 45 seconds. And it's going to be, you wanna make sure that it's creamy, but it's still gonna be pretty thin. This will thicken up quite a bit when it heats on the stove. So we don't want it too thick at this point because we wanna be able to, have it thicken on the stove without being too thick. All right, so this is the basic sauce here. All the directions and ingredients are going to be on my website. So let me divide this 3 ways so I can make these 3 different pastas. Even though this amount is enough for 1 whole pound of pasta, I'm gonna be making my 3 pastas just using 1/3 of this sauce. So let me divide this, and I will meet you at the stove and we can start the first one. The first one we're going to make is the only one that requires a little bit extra blending, and this is a spicy red pepper elote pasta. So I have the 1/3 here. Again, the entire recipe that I'll have is for an entire batch of this, but I just have it divided for these purposes here. So I'm going to this blender container, add some cayenne pepper, and that's up to you how much you want, and then some roasted red pepper. And I'm just going to blend this again just until the red pepper is incorporated. All right, so this is all blended up. And for all of these sauces, it's better to add the sauce to the pan while it's still cool. That way it doesn't scorch onto the bottom of the pan. So this is the base sauce with the roasted red pepper, a little bit of cayenne. And as I said, this is an elote pasta, so I'm going to be adding some corn. This is just frozen corn. And then I'm going to turn this to a medium heat. As I said, this will also thicken up as you cook it, so you want to keep an eye on it, you want to keep it moving, you don't want anything to stick to the bottom. Now, I recommend doing this basically while your pasta is cooking so that you can add the pasta directly from the hot water into this, and that way you have some of that pasta water to thin this out if it gets thick. I made my pasta ahead of time just to make everything a little bit easier, but I did reserve some of the pasta water here in case it does thin out and I need to, or in case it does thicken too much and I need to thin it out. So I'm just going to keep stirring this. Once it's hot and warmed through, we add the pasta, we toss it, and then we top it. All right, you can see here that the sauce is thickened up quite a bit and it's ready for the pasta. Again, you would most likely be doing this directly from the pasta water, and that way the pasta is going to be a little bit more moist, but you can see here that's kind of thick. So I'm just going to add a bit of the pasta water, which you would obviously just spoon from the pot directly. And then we're going to toss this all together and evenly coat this pasta with the sauce. Now this is so good. If you like spicy, this is definitely the one for you. And the playful ingredient I'm going to add at the end here also just takes it up to another level. All right, that looks pretty evenly coated. Let's plate it up. You saw how fast that came together. It really isn't any more work than what I just showed you. And actually in the recipe, I do have some onions that are in there at the beginning when I start to cook the sauce. I just forgot to put them in here. So to plate this, I'm going to just fill up this bowl. This is obviously a really big portion here. Fill up this bowl, and then the secret ingredient is, can't really tell from that, but it is Takis, Fuego. I've been seeing this on a lot of vegan restaurant menus. Veganation puts it ground up on their mac and cheese pizza. And then this sort of elote idea, there's a place in town called Tacotarian, and they put ground up Takis on their corn on the cob. So that's kind of where I got this idea, and you'd be surprised how much flavor this actually gives. I just put these in the food processor and ground them up. The Takis actually have quite a bit of like acidity to them, so the flavor is just really like, it's spicy, it's crunchy, but then it adds kind of like a bit of a limey acidicness to it, which is really nice. To sell the full elote story, I do have some vegan mayo here. This is just a little bit extra, but I think it adds some nice flavor. I'm just going to do a little drizzle of some vegan mayo on top. And there you have this really easy, delicious elote pasta made with this really simple base sauce. Let's go ahead and give this first one a taste. This one, I don't know if it's my favorite, but when we tested these, this was definitely Ben's favorite. It's just such a complex flavor. And again, Takis seem like kind of a weird thing, but they really are the perfect topping for this. It's so good. And the corn adds like a bit of sweetness, but also a bit of texture, and it kind of combines with the corn flavor of the Takis. The spice level is really great. If you don't like spicy, just cut out the cayenne pepper, but this is so good. Oh my God. Again, I don't know if this is my favorite. Really can't decide between all three, but this is definitely a must-try dish. So I'm gonna put this aside. I'm gonna clean up a little bit, and I'll meet you back at the stove, and we'll make the next one, which is a pot pie pasta. This second pasta, which is the pot pie pasta, comes together just as quick and easy as the previous one, but we're gonna be starting with the topping first. So of course a pot pie has a pie crust, but we're not gonna worry about pie crust. We're gonna do a nice breadcrumb topping. So I have some breadcrumbs that I'm just going to put into a pan, along with some seasonings, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of nutritional yeast, which just adds a lot of flavor, but kind of gives it a bit of a Parmesan-y feel, and then just a little bit of olive oil to help it brown. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this, toss it around. It'll take just a couple of minutes, but as soon as it's brown, I wanna get it off the heat so that it doesn't burn, and then we're ready to proceed with the sauce for the pot pie pasta. So these have been cooking for just a few minutes. As you see, they're nice and golden brown. So I'm just going to put them back into this bowl. These are panko breadcrumbs, by the way, but you could use whatever breadcrumbs you have on hand. And I'm just gonna put these aside so that I can use the pan to make the sauce. They smell just nice and toasty. Gonna be a great topping. All right, let's make the pot pie pasta. Now my pan is still just a little bit hot, and I said that when you add the cream sauce, you kind of want it to be a cool pan. So I'm just gonna add a bit of the pasta water just to kind of temper it a little bit so that it doesn't scorch when I add the sauce. So here is our cashew cream sauce base. And I'm gonna put the temperature of the stove to about medium. And then now we add. So I'm gonna add just a bit of onion. I'm going to add some seasonings. This is tarragon and some 21 seasoning salute from Trader Joe's, but it's just kind of a basic seasoning blend. There's also like a Bragg seasoning blend that's very similar to it. I have some frozen vegetables, corn, peas, carrots. I have some Beyond chicken that I have cubed up. You could use mushrooms if you didn't want to use vegan chicken. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna stir this together. You can see that the sauce is already starting to simmer because the pan was a bit warm already. And once this comes up to temperature, seems to be thickening, then we will toss the pasta, we plate, and we're done. All right, this came together really quickly. Time to add the pasta. Oops, and I know that I'm already gonna need a little bit more of the pasta water. So I'll just add that now, and then we toss. Now, tongs would be ideal for tossing this, but this is a non-stick pan, so I just don't wanna risk it, but this works fine. I love the sound that creamy pastas have, and this cashew cream sauce definitely delivers that sound. All right, so this looks pretty good. I'll meet you back at the island, and we'll plate it up and put over the seasoned breadcrumbs. All right, we are back here at the island. Pot pie pasta is ready to serve. You can see all the delicious vegetables, and it's so easy because I just use frozen vegetables. You just open up the bag and dump them in. So got my pasta here. Just gonna top it with some of these breadcrumbs, which are the crust for our pie. And that's pretty much it. Here you have this delicious pot pie pasta with breadcrumb crust. Let's give this pot pie pasta a taste. You could obviously use any vegetables that you like. If you didn't want to use frozen, you don't have to. Just makes it a lot easier if you do. It's a little bit bigger of a bite than I planned on taking, but let's do it. The seasoning mix makes it taste just like a pot pie, and the crispiness of the breadcrumbs just truly sells you on that bread crust top that you would have from a pot pie. It's just like a really perfect way to get a pot pie really quickly and easily, and also have your pasta too. So I strongly recommend this one. Can't decide if I like this one better than the Takis one, but anyways, I can't eat this all right now because we have a third one to make. So let me clean things up a little bit. I'll meet you back at the stove and we'll make the last one, which is a sun-dried tomato and Italian sausage one. Our third pasta using this basic cream sauce is going to be a sun-dried tomato and Italian sausage pasta. Now the star ingredient of this is going to be this Beyond Italian sausage, which is personally my favorite type of vegan sausage. Not always the most available to find, so you can sub in another Italian sausage if you like. It won't taste exactly the same, but it'll give you the same kind of vibe. So what I'm doing here is just breaking up this sausage into the pan. I put it on to kind of like medium-high heat. And for the full recipe, you're gonna wanna use 2 sausages. I'm just gonna be using 1 today. And I'm just gonna break this up here to little pieces. Then I'm gonna add the onion and a little bit of olive oil. And this is just gonna brown up together. As soon as it's brown, we add the sauce, a couple other ingredients, we toss, and then we're done. I'm so impressed by this Beyond sausage. It cooks up just like regular sausage. It's amazing stuff. So the pan is super hot, and I said you don't really want to pour the cream base into it while it's hot. So I'm going to just add a bit of the pasta water in there to help deglaze the pan a bit, and also just to kind of create a little soft base for the cream sauce to go. All right, so let's add our cream sauce. Now, what really carries the flavor of the dish is the seasoning from the sausage. So make sure you choose an Italian sausage that has lots of flavor. I'm also going to be adding a bit of Italian seasoning to this. And then the remaining ingredients, some sun-dried tomato that I've just cut up into little slivers. And then just about a handful of spinach that I just roughly chopped. So stir this together. Once the spinach wilts and everything is warmed through, we're going to toss the pasta with it, and it's done. So we've added the pasta here. Again, you'd be adding this directly from your hot water, so provide a little bit more liquid. Let's thin this out just a little more here. Smells so good, just that flavor of the Italian sausage. The sun-dried tomatoes add such a nice sweetness to this dish. So excited to taste this. And that's it. I'll meet you back at the island for some plating and a taste test. So let's plate this one up. Just add a bit into my bowl here. And I'm gonna add some breadcrumbs from the previous recipe. And then to top it off, I'm going to add just some fresh parsley. And that's it. Let's give it a taste, if I can find a fork. Let's give it a taste. Smells so good. Again, another bite larger than I had planned, but let's dig in. Oh my God. That Italian sausage flavor just carries throughout this whole thing. Sun-dried tomatoes, just a nice sweetness, freshness from the parsley. It's just like such a simple, easy, but so flavorful. I might even add maybe a little bit of red pepper flake into this just to add the spice level up a little bit more, but I really can't decide. They're all so good, so unique. They use the same base sauce, but all three of them are just completely different dishes, satisfy different cravings and needs. So my goal here is just to kind of show you simple kitchen techniques, simple hacks for going vegan. And this is just a really easy way to make dishes that you may have had in your past. And it's just to have like a simple cream base sauce like this one that you can tailor to your needs or desires or cravings. So I hope you enjoyed this video, this one sauce with these three amazing recipes: the elote with Takis, the pot pie pasta, the Italian sausage and sun-dried tomato. Give these a try. All three of the recipes are posted on my website. Plus I'll have the links below. Speaking of below, click subscribe if you have not yet. Also like this video if you like it. Share it with your friends, family, loved ones. Get the word out about my channel. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next week with a brand new video that also shows you some new techniques, tips, and makes going vegan or staying vegan easy and delicious. So thanks for watching. I will see you next time.